The psychosocial stages. What are the psychosocial stages? The psychosocial stages are a part of Erikson's theory, which represents 8 stages a person goes through throughout their life of socialization. The stages start from when a person is born to the day that they die. They reach each stage and are open to 2 possibilities, which depend on their social life and their environment. Stage 1 and Stage 2, infancy to childhood. As a newborn baby, the world is new and unclear. This is the stage where a person starts to wonder who they can or can't trust. When they start to trust somebody, they know that their needs will be met, they are fed when they're hungry, and they feel secure and feel safe with their caregiver. When they start to go towards mistrust, they know that their needs aren't met and they know they're not the priority. They start to feel insecure and unsafe around their caregiver. In order to gain the trust of a baby, the caregiver needs to show affection by comforting the baby when they're sad, providing for them, comforting them by feeding them, bathing them, and making sure that their health and well-being is good. At the stage where 18 months to 3-year-olds start to develop self-worth and questioning whether they're too dependent on others or if they can do things on their own. They go between the 2 thoughts of autonomy and shame. Autonomy allows children to freely express themselves and their thoughts. They make their own choices and independently, which allows them to figure themselves out. Shame is brought upon a child when they feel that their ideas are shut down and their opinions are discouraged. They feel that they are judged and aren't allowed to make their own decisions as well. By not allowing a child to freely express themselves, it could lead the child to have self-doubt and not control over their own life in the future. Play age to school age. Initiative or guilt. The age 3 to 5 is when kids start to take initiative. They go out and try new activities and experiences. From allowing a child to freely express themselves can encourage them to make their own choices and do more activities. Caregivers reassure a child that everyone makes mistakes and encouraging them to move forward and can help them learn from their mistakes in the future. Although caregivers try to take initiative and help their child stay on the right path, they have outer influences such as friends, classmates, teachers, and other adults. Guilt comes in when the child makes mistakes or isn't successful in completing tasks and feel that they are seen as bad. Industry versus inferiority. This stage plays towards middle school. Kids start finding their own interest in things. Kids find their differences between others and themselves and they want to show others what they can do things right. Stage 4 is the stage where kids question if they can make it in the world, but they start working hard when they receive recognition and compliments. When a child starts to receive negative feedback, it makes them lose motivation and confidence in themselves, starting to make them feel inferior as well. The adolescence age. Teen years could be the most roller coaster of emotions and choices. This stage is where everyone is trying to figure out their identity and role in society. Teens start going into identity crisis, contemplating and thinking about their values, their beliefs, relationships, and experiences. To help a child through this stage is by supporting them, not pushing them towards a conformity, and allowing them to experiment for themselves can help them overcome their identity crisis, allowing them to be free in their own body. When a teen is figuring out their role in life, it helps them find what makes up their personality. By not providing teens with help and open support, it can make the teen feel out of place and confused on where they belong in life. It could also lead to teens drifting from places and relationships, which leaves them with commitment issues for the future and relationships as well. Adulthood to middle age. Even in adulthood and not just in adolescence age, people are still figuring themselves out, but mostly now in relationships. At this age of life, this is where people are trying to find their life partners or even get married. This stage is intimacy versus isolation, where people are setting themselves up in the long run with relationships romantically and platonically. If a person cannot find any form of intimate relationships, it leads them to feeling lonely and isolated. Isolation causes a person to feel the lack of intimacy with others, allowing them not to have a social support group who they can reach out to in any time of need. By isolating oneself, it can lead to loneliness, which which could consequently lead a person to be depressed, stressed, and even have a cardiovascular disease. Generativity versus stagnation. The focus at this stage is people wondering what they can do to contribute to the world. At this age, most adults are trying to figure out what they should do with their life. They're having mid-crises since they don't know what to do since they're halfway there. If a person does not achieve generativity, they start to feel stagnation, leaving them to feel dissatisfied with their life and possibly increase in health issues. That's why they try to find ways to care for the people and benefits to the people around them and the community as well.